We're the huge movie fanatics here to review Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Now this is one that...
I don't think I said Judgment Day when I introed that.
The previous one was Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Alright.
This is Rise of the Machines. This one is one that I'm really kind of conflicted about, because it's just one of those weird things where you watch this movie. This is a good movie. This is a good action movie. It is good, it's exciting, it's fast-paced. The problem is that it's a sequel to Terminator fucking 2.
How do you... Yeah, it's almost like...
Like, if you watch this dissociated from the other ones, this is a phenomenal action movie. The, John Connor in it is fantastic. I can't
even remember.
Oh, shit, I just watched it too. I can't remember his name, but he is great. He's a great follow-up to do that character. He puts all of his heart and damn soul into the movie, and he really sells it. I loved the opening little monologue thing in a series of events where it starts in 2023, I think or 2032 rather, because they changed the timeline because of Terminator 2, which is stupid. But anyway, that whole opening is really good. Like, the first 10 minutes are fantastic, and I think the action is good. It's well written relatively. There's a couple little jokes that didn't really fly, such as "She'll be back."
Oh
and
my god,
that's so dumb. And then the him putting the star sunglasses on and stuff like that. Little things like that didn't really gel with me. But virtually everything else about the movie works on its own. But as a sequel to Terminator, the movie is just kind of meh. That said, like, I can't help but appreciate the movie, especially, like, it had been a while since I'd seen it, and I just watched this again when I was in Chile. That's where I'd been when I wasn't reviewing, ladies and gentlemen. I saw it when I was there, and I was like, man, it's been a while since I've seen this, and it's actually not as bad as I remember. There's a lot to really like about the movie. That said, I will say, the movie would be so much better if you took the Terminatrix out of it. Not that she's uninteresting or fun to look at. It should have just been, like, the whole purpose of the movie, which I think is a stupid purpose, is saying that fate is unavoidable and John Connor will become the leader of the resistance and all this stuff. Which, after the previous movie's mission statement was, fate is what we make for ourselves. There is no such thing as fate. Like, that was the mission statement of this one and this one. Fate is unavoidable. That's what his, that's lame.
Oh my god.
But the whole idea of that is, there shouldn't have been really much action in the beginning of the movie. It should have been just the Terminator trying to convince him to go into hiding and to go into shelter, not have another Terminator to fight, just try to be his protector until Skynet goes live as it does in the end of the movie, and all the other Terminators start coming alive. That's where it should have had, like, the Terminator battle, like where he battles primitive versions of himself, kind of thing. That would have been more interesting to me. I would have liked that more, because a lot of the best stuff in the movie is when the Terminator's fighting the older versions of the Terminators, like the big tank one and the flying ones that you're so familiar with in a miniature scale from the previous movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would have been more interesting. Just take the Terminatrix out. It's a better movie. But that said, I still have problems with it. I'm going to give it 3 stars, though. I do enjoy the movie. It is a good action movie. As I say, you just have to watch it far distanced from Terminator 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen this. We've probably obviously seen it in the theater.
Oh, yeah, I saw this one.
I think I saw it twice. I remember, obviously when you go into Terminator 3, you can't, obviously I was smart enough to not expect something better than Terminator 2. I mean, that obviously wasn't going to happen, but I was surprised. I came out of the theater surprised. Obviously, if I saw it twice in the theater, I didn't hate it. Not to ride on his coattails, would say 3 stars as well. It was just really weird to see, because I never thought I'd see Arnold back as that character again.
He's almost better in this one than he is in the other two. Like, he's really good in this movie. Like, he plays it so well. Like, you can tell this is the role he's born to play. And he does it so well all the way through. I really like his delivery of "I am a machine" and stuff like that. I also would have had him be a villain again. I wouldn't have had...
What was that?
That was my phone. I would have had him be the villain.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea.
Because, like, that's my problem with this. Once you got a franchise and then you made him a hero, and that's the one that makes so much money, that's what he's going to be forever now. He's the hero.
Yeah.
So I would have had him be the villain. They kind of had him play both sides, where he's a good guy and then he's also a bad guy. He's the good guy that killed John Connor and was sent back in time by John Connor's wife, who was excellently played by Claire Danes in this movie. So he's reprogrammed a bad guy. You know this is the thing that killed John, and then he's there to protect him. And then the Terminator reprograms him to be a bad guy, but he's not really all that bad. He just kind of like beats up John a tiny bit. But it would have been interesting to have him be a villain throughout the last half of the movie or something.
I just remember like the middle being like the best, or like the key action scene was like towards the middle, and then towards the end there wasn't really for me the key action scene was like with the crane thing or whatever. The standout one of the movie was in the middle, and in a perfect world you don't have your standout action scene be in the middle. But I was really impressed at the time, because obviously I thought that there was going to be something better at the end. I'm like, wow, if they're doing this in the middle, then the end's got to be.
Yeah.
Well, of course it wasn't. It was kind of like a.
The ending is just Terminator hits the Terminatrix with a helicopter, and then she liquid metals out of it, and then tries to grab a hold of John and breaks his foot, and then the Terminator jams his nuclear power cell into her mouth, and that's the end. And it's just like, what? And then, yeah, I do like the ending monologue, even though it, as I say, it conflicts with everything else, where he's like, there was no stopping Judgment Day. This was software in cyberspace. You can't stop that.
No.
And that's true. Like in a true world, once it's on the internet, you can't take it down. It's not gonna disappear. So.
Yeah, well, a lot has changed since T2 as far as internet, so they were able to incorporate that in the. So does he meet Claire Danes in the movie, like John? Do they meet in the movie? Do they already know each other?
They knew each other from middle school, and apparently the party that's referenced in Terminator 2 that John had been to or whatever is where he first met. He met her, and he was gonna hang out with her that night where Terminator 2 happened, and that's where they were supposed to get together. And
because I can't even remember any of that relationship in Terminator 3.
Yeah.
So in order to save time, I think we'll just leave it at that. It's 3 stars. Like he says, I mean, as an action movie, it's fine, but as long as you don't compare it to like T2 or 1.
I will say this: better sequel to Terminator 2 is the Sarah Connor Chronicles TV show. It's even more convoluted and whatnot, but it seems to fit and tie in more with Terminator 2, and the ending of that series perfectly ends what the Terminator franchise should have been. So,
all right, sounds great. I'm back. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's a lot of really hokey lines in this one, and also the talk to the hand.
Oh my god.
But the action is good.
Yeah.
And John Connor is good. I feel really bad. I can't remember his name. It's Eric something, right?
I don't know.
Damn.
All right. Thank you very much for watching.